Robert in Liège about 2 years ago, and a few months later, so Lalo is actually Alberto Lofoco, who will be back soon, and he emailed me to suggest that we try and get a band together to play Robert Wyatt's music in Modena, because there was some money there to do a world premiere of sorts, and
always comes in handy.
Yeah, right. And
I don't remember.
It's always handy, yeah. And so he came up with the lists, and I think so. We did that as a 9/10 last year, and eventually, the management decided that we had to go, if we had to go on tour, we had to reduce it to 6 people. So that's that's about it. We did that gig in Modena on March the 1st. I remember that because
It's different from the Modena.
Yes.
The Modena gig had more people in it. It was a completely different experience, and it was a different program. But we played different songs. And then it went to sleep, And then it was revived, and it was revived as a smaller group. Karen was brought in, various other people faded away, and the program, the suggested list of songs which came from us changed. And I think this is actually a much more varied and much more representative program than the first program we did.
I think we all did it together.
This
really.
time,
This time.
I mean, we all had just basic sheets for each song with the information, the melody, the chord changes, and the original recording, what we knew about the recording, and then we just sort of felt it out between all of us, which perhaps is more time-consuming. But since we hadn't all played together in this format, it seemed to make sense that we would get together and then see how it grew and what would be right.
And at the moment, it's in that transitional phase where the material is acquiring a personality, which is not just slavishly trying to do what Robert did, but to interpret the material amongst ourselves. And that's, I think, from the first concert to this one, it's slowly evolving. It's slowly getting a little looser, a little acquiring an identity. And that comes not through rehearsal, really, but actually through performance.
Yeah, through playing it, finding out what works, kind of as we're playing it, really.
Well, he didn't want to get involved, but he sent us a very nice letter of encouragement. He sent us his blessing.
Yeah. I rang him the other day and told him what we were doing. I thought it was important to let him know what we were doing in the set. And so I went through the set list with him. And he appreciated that. And he made a few comments about things.
And he told me, I think this is great because I'd much rather you guys play my music than me having to do it myself. It's great, just sit back and let somebody else do the work. I think he trusts us, I don't know.
Yeah, I think he does.
Don't get caught off your guard. Evil lurks in all our hearts. Just beware. You won't last very long. Even if you are strong, just beware. Don't trust anyone.
great
not hard,
songs.
no.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah, it isn't difficult.
Hard thing is just in the details and making it your own, and okay, we're all going to start together and then we're all going to end together. I mean, those are the hardest things.
But it's really evolving, as Chris said, the set has changed every night, and that's really nice as well. That's really nice to do, the kind of bits been added and kind of little bits of improvisation here and there. So yeah, we're really trying to, and I suppose if we did, 60 gigs, we probably still would keep changing.
60?
It would still change. It would still change.
Wow.
It would still change, yeah.
But,
Yeah.
I think, you're definitely, it is well, my feeling is, when we are working together, you seem to be really like a solid sort of person, somebody who knows his music inside out, so you can give wonderful sort of just cues and directions to somebody like me who doesn't really read music, and I don't really know Robert's music inside out in that way. I mean, I've heard obviously quite a few of his songs, but, so, that's really very, very helpful to...
Robert does Robert better than we
That's
could
right,
do Robert.
yeah. I mean, there's no point in doing Robert.
Doing that,
Yeah.
because
No,
he
that-
does it better.
Yeah.
Nobody is Robert, so,
Yeah.
it would be ridiculous to try.
But actually, what was interesting, talking to Robert about this once, was, because Robert did some arrangements of, he did that Chic number, didn't he, at Last I Am Free, and I'm a Believer. And I said to him, how did you decide what to do on those? And he said, I copied it exactly off the record. And it doesn't sound like it. And he said, and it came out sounding like that, but he said, but I transcribed it exactly, and so I think that's going to happen anyway. I mean, even if we try and do something exactly as he did it, it's never going to sound like that anyway, because we're all different people playing it, and different instrumentation and stuff.
And we have different voices.
Yeah, and we all bring
so
our own
that
stuff.
alone,
Yeah,
will change and character, will change the feel of the songs, the colour and so on.
Inevitably. And also, we can't do any overdubs on stage. Robert works with overdubs all the time, and I think so. It's inevitable that we come up with something different. I don't know if it's good, but it's definitely different. To come back briefly to the Modena thing and the change in the lineup, I think this is really the opposite, as Chris was saying, of what we were trying to do last year, because it was a sort of jazz experiment where everybody was having his or her moment, and a succession of long solos, and this is really, I think it was a deliberate choice on the part of every one of us to do something very different, maybe more avant-pop than jazz, with short solos and
much more collective. The solos that are kind of feel collective, they just really do.
And get away with the jazz format. That we,
As well, it's really nice that we brought in some improvisation now,
Glory Blue.
which
of our
we
own,
hadn't really done before in Modena. It's nice to build on that one. Yeah, I think it's good.
Well, I really like his approach to things. I like his kind of his exactness and his ad hocness. The combination of those two. I mean, I just think that's really special. I mean, I like that.
And I like that there is clearly a sort of social conscience running through his material. As well, there's some incredible sort of melancholy and kindness in it, and I almost feel that every song could be a pop song. It could be jazz, it could be pop, it could be, but it's never any of one of those things, It's something new and special just to Robert, Sophie, my love. She's not your larder, jammy jars and mustard. She's not your dinner, you soppy old custard. And what's a bololi when it's a folly? She's not your larder, she's your dear little dolly. But when plops get too helly, she fill up your belly. She's not your larder, she's Alefi, your garter. No need to wipe your feet, the welcome mat's not there. But just take care before you dare to step inside my door. Unbelievable has happened to the floor. Something unbelievable. Apart. You've set me free, you've set me free, you've set me free, you've set me free, you've set me free to let you know. You've set me free to let you know. You've planted everlasting hatred in my heart. You've planted everlasting hatred in my heart. My rooms won't give you shelter. They're open to the air. The upper story's out of reach. The stairs no longer there. You are
everlasting hatred in your heart. You have planted all your everlasting hatred in my heart. You have planted all your everlasting hatred in my heart. You have planted all your everlasting hatred in my heart. You have planted all your everlasting hatred in my heart.
I met Robert in 1967 at, I think, Happening 44, which was a club in Covent Garden where the Soft Machine were playing. That was when they were still a quartet. Were they still a quartet? No, I think David had just left. But I didn't meet Robert until they were just a trio. And I remember asking what happened to David. So that was the first time I met him. And then when we ran the Cabaret Voltaire concerts, Robert came to a couple of them, and we somehow we just became connected slowly.
Sorry, pardon.
No.
You hadn't finished? No?
No, I finished.
Slowly connected?
Yeah, we slowly connected now because of the Soft Machine connection, and he came to the Henry Cow concert, and he liked Henry Cow, and he invited Fred to join his band, and then we played with him the last concert that he did formally for many years, in Paris, London, and Italy.
Yeah, in Rome.
As a kind of half Henry Cow program, half Robert Wyatt program. So we had a lot of contact with him, and we've been in contact with him on and off ever since. So.
We have, and I met Robert first when we had released the first record with Slap Happy, and he liked Slap Happy, and so we were invited to his house, and it seemed such a great honor. And then I still have a photo of him with a Slap Happy t-shirt on, which is really good. We had a t-shirt, which was great. And then we did a John Peel show together. So that's when I first met Robert. And then it continued with Henry Cow, didn't it?
Yeah.
I was in the early 80s when we did Venceremos with Working Week together. And then I did a couple of other things with him. And then I didn't see him at all for years until he did Sleep, and he called me up and asked me to come and play on it, and since then I've played on all of his albums since then.
I just knew him because he worked with my parents. I was just a kid, like maybe 10 years old or even younger when my father was recording, I forget what the first one was, Silence or Hapless Child. And I think, I was sort of around. I didn't really at that point listen to a lot of my parents' music. When I was 10, I couldn't identify with jazz composers orchestra or free jazz at all. And then all of a sudden they were playing this very nice music with this beautiful singer. And I think it was one of the first things. Maybe sometimes they played something with Jack Bruce, like Cream, and then I'd say, "Oh, you're not all that bad. You listen to music I could stand." And I actually requested, "Could I have a copy of that? Who is that? Robert Wyatt? Could I have a cassette?" And I would bring it to school and play it for my friends. They all thought I was really weird, but I really fell in love with that, and I think it sort of shaped me, coming up. And usually I think I don't really sound like anybody else, but I guess, he was a huge influence. I don't think I met him until, maybe I came with them to London when I was 10 or 11 and met him in Alpi. Haven't seen him much, but he was always great about corresponding and sending nice postcards. Whenever I made a record, he would listen and send a postcard saying, "Good job, kid," or whatever. I don't think he put it that way. And then finally, he asked me to record with him, and that was, up until now, the highlight of my life. But now I get to play with these people, and it's even better.